You have something. Rage.
I don't fight for power. I fight the free road.
Will nothing kill this gladiator?
Hey, what's up, movie lovers? Today we're diving into the first reactions from an early screening of Gladiator II, the epic sequel that's been 24 years in the making. Directed by the legendary Ridley Scott and starring heavy hitters like Denzel Washington, Paul Mescal, and Pedro Pascal, this film is already generating tons of buzz after its first sneak peek. With its official release set for November 22nd, we're here to break down the early responses, give you the inside scoop, and explore whether Gladiator II can live up to the massive expectations set by the original. So, Gladiator II, what's the deal? It's been over 2 decades since Gladiator hit theaters and became an instant classic. The 2000 original, starring Russell Crowe, earned 5 Oscars and made a worldwide box office haul of over $465 million. No pressure, right? In the sequel, we see Paul Mescal stepping into the lead role as Lucius Verus II, the nephew of Emperor Commodus, played by Joaquin Phoenix in the first film. But Lucius is not the ruler you might expect. He's forced into slavery and becomes a gladiator, fighting his way through the Colosseum with vengeance and power on his mind. It's clear Ridley Scott is aiming to not only build on the foundation of the first film, but take it to new heights, and that's got early viewers buzzing. Gladiator II had its first screening at the Paramount Studios lot in Los Angeles this past Friday, where media outlets and film critics got an early look. And let me tell you, social media lit up with reactions immediately after the screening. The consensus? It's an absolute spectacle. People are raving about the pulsating pace of the film and the intensity that Ridley Scott has brought to the sequel. From the visuals to the performances, it seems like this movie delivers on the action and drama we expect from a gladiator film, but with even more grandeur. Early buzz is calling it a total spectacle, which is exactly what fans of the original have been hoping for. Now let's talk about Paul Mescal. If you're familiar with his work, you know he's a talented actor, and this role really pushes him into new territory. He plays a grown-up Lucius Verus II, a character that we only briefly saw as a child in the first Gladiator. This time, Lucius is on a path for revenge, and Mescal brings a raw energy to the role that's been turning heads. Mescal himself said that Lucius was a role unlike anything he's done before. In his words, Lucius is front-footed, meaning he's aggressive, driven, and full of something that audiences haven't seen from Mescal yet. And let's not forget the physical transformation he underwent. Mescal joked about thinking he'd play a normal-looking gladiator, but it became clear during filming that his character was more like a dog, fighting tooth and nail just to survive. So, expect some intense, gritty scenes from him. Next up is Denzel Washington. Yes, you heard that right, Denzel is in Gladiator II. He plays Macrinus, a wealthy arms dealer and former gladiator who's plotting to take control of Rome. Sounds juicy, right? Well, according to early reactions, Denzel absolutely owns this role. His character is ruthless, manipulative, and cunning, a man who's already sold his soul, as Denzel described it. In typical Denzel fashion, he brought some humor to the Q&A after the screening, joking that his character is misunderstood and a nice fellow. But make no mistake, Macrinus is in bed with the devil, as Washington put it. The actor also shared how working on this film felt like pure make-believe, thanks to the massive life-size sets Ridley Scott built in Malta. It was like stepping into ancient Rome itself, with thousands of extras and horses surrounding them during filming. Speaking of Ridley Scott, the man is a filmmaking legend, and Gladiator II looks like another incredible feat for him. The early viewers were blown away by Scott's direction, especially when it came to the film's visual spectacle. If you thought the original Gladiator was impressive, it seems like Scott has taken the sequel to another level. Paul Mescal said during the Q&A that the film wears the legacy of the first film with intense pride and honor, but takes it in a direction that drives that honor through the roof. Mescal also mentioned how proud he is of Ridley Scott's work on this movie, calling it one of Scott's finest pieces of work in recent times. And considering Ridley Scott's resume, that's saying a lot. It's not just Denzel and Paul Mescal that are bringing their A-game. Gladiator II boasts an impressive ensemble cast, including Pedro Pascal, Connie Nielsen, Joseph Quinn, and more. Pascal, fresh off The Last of Us and The Mandalorian, is quickly becoming one of Hollywood's biggest stars, and his role in Gladiator II is one fans are eager to see. Connie Nielsen reprises her role as Lucilla, adding even more continuity from the original film. We've also got Rory McCann, Fred Heckinger, and a host of other talented actors rounding out the cast. It's safe to say this film is packed with powerhouse performances across the board. Let's get into the plot a bit more. Gladiator II follows Lucius Verus II, who returns to Rome after being forced into slavery. But this isn't the same Rome he once knew. He's not coming back as a ruler, he's coming back as a gladiator, hell-bent on revenge and seeking to restore Rome's former glory. Early reactions say that the film not only brings back the themes of honor, power, and revenge that made the original great, but expands on them. The story delves deeper into the complexities of Roman politics and the brutality of the gladiatorial games. It also explores the psychological toll these battles take on the characters, especially Lucius, who's described as someone who doesn't care if he lives or dies for much of the movie. And let's not forget the hype around the first trailer. When it dropped back in July, it racked up 215 million global views across platforms in just a few days. Fans were immediately hooked, and the trailer teased some jaw-dropping action sequences and emotional moments that are sure to make Gladiator II a hit at the box office. What's got people talking is how the trailer captures that raw, visceral energy of the original Gladiator, while also giving us a taste of the new direction this sequel is taking. The visuals are breathtaking, and the scale of the film looks absolutely massive. It's clear Ridley Scott didn't hold back when it came to making this film as epic as possible. With early reactions coming in, one thing's for sure, Gladiator II stands out as its own film, while also honoring the legacy of the original. The performances, especially from Mescal and Washington, are getting high praise, and Ridley Scott's direction has once again delivered a cinematic masterpiece. But beyond the action and drama, there's a lot of heart to this film. It's a story of survival, resilience, and the lengths people will go to seek justice. That's what made the first Gladiator so powerful, and it looks like the sequel is doubling down on those themes, while also offering new layers of complexity. So, what can we expect when Gladiator II hits theaters on November 22nd? If the early reactions are anything to go by, we're in for an absolute treat. It's shaping up to be a must-watch for fans of the original, as well as anyone who loves epic historical dramas. Whether you're excited to see Paul Mescal's intense portrayal of Lucius, Denzel Washington's sinister Macrinus, or Ridley Scott's stunning visual spectacle, Gladiator II promises to deliver all of that and more. It's a film that honors its roots while boldly carving out its own place in cinematic history. Alright, that's all for today's breakdown of Gladiator II. Are you as pumped as we are for the sequel? Let us know in the comments which part of the film you're most excited to see, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on the hottest upcoming movies. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.